Hello everyone, this is Born. I'm back with another Torchlight Infinite Cube of Rapacity video. This is a follow-up video to my patch notes video that I did earlier. If you haven't checked it out, I'll put a thing up there so you can check out my patch notes reading. And one of the line items in that video was that that the balance adjustments will be coming later. Later has arrived, and we have received another set of notes which give more detailed information about heroes, hero traits, hero changes, mechanics, specific numbers on balance changes, and all the juicy stuff that we can all complain about. Oh man. So what I've done is I've gone through this and I've read through it once, and I've highlighted things in green that I think may be buffs, things in red that may be nerfs, and things in blue that I just don't have a clue if it's either or. I can't tell if it's a buff or a nerf, either because it's using a new skill like command or spell burst, or just I don't know enough about the skill. So if I mess up anything, or if I come across anything or do anything that is wrong, please destroy me in the comments. Destroy me. Just let me know what's up, and let's have a conversation about this. It's a lot, so strap in. But before I do, let me give you a TLDR for those of you who don't want to sit through the whole thing. I think overall that they're making things a little bit harder. I think the stigma for Torchlight Infinite is that the game is easy, and that there's not enough challenge to it. And I think I'm seeing a lot of themes with these patch notes to make things a little bit more difficult. We already know about the patch, or we already know about the crafting changes. That's going to be a little bit more involved and a little bit more difficult than it was before. But what I'm seeing in here, as you're going to probably conclude as well, is that bosses are tankier, hit harder, and some of the super overpowered items have been nerfed, and things are going to be a little bit harder than they were in Season 2. Whether it's going to be difficult, you know, on a scale or not, remains to be seen, but it's definitely leaning towards making things a little bit more difficult this season. So look for more of a challenge, and I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be fun. So first things first, let's talk about the underlying mechanics. Increase additional dot damage provided by Affliction from 0.5 to 1%. So we've got additional dot damage on Affliction being increased from 0.5 to 0.1. And again, I'm going to try to go a little fast because there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff. If you want to pause and read for yourself or come to your own conclusions, that's okay. But I'm trying to go as fast as I can, give some opinions on some of these things and some I won't. They changed the names of some of the skills. They didn't say what, but they changed the name of some of the skills. Curse skills no longer have casting animations. So that's kind of a good thing, right? But curse skills now have a 0.1 second cooldown. So there's a little bit of a toggle, a little bit of a balance there. No animations, but they have a 0.1 second cooldown. I think we're going to have to play and see if how that pans out. Spell Terra skills. Spell Terra skills no longer have casting animations, but they have a 0.1 second cooldown. And Shadow Swamp now has a 0.6 second cooldown. Don't use that skill. Don't know. But it sounds like it's going to be a little bit different. I think I have that backwards. I think this should be green and this should be, yeah, this is green and this is probably red. Or maybe I have it backwards on the other one. We'll see. Whatever. You guys get the idea. The max number of Sentry Hunters can deploy in stages is now limited to 4 for sentries. And increase the base damage of Sentry skills accordingly. Now, I almost made this blue because there are certain situations where, you know, having limited sentries may hurt. But the fact that they're putting a hard limit on the number here, with the base damage being buffed, and there's going to be a lot of new sentry things coming. There's a couple new skills coming that have to do with sentries, and we have the command system as well with the minion stuff. So I think there's a balance with some of the changes there that have to take effect. So I'm calling it a buff, but you know, that could easily be a blue. Okay. Other skills, Blurry Steps. Change increases additional critical strike rating for the next main skill. Removes blur and the blurry steps on cast. That text has been changed to increases additional critical strike rating for the next different main skill cast. So not just for the next main skill, but it has to be a different main skill, and removes blur and blurry steps when casting on another main skill. Flame Pillar. The name has been changed to Flame Core. That's one of the name changes. Base cast frequency has been reduced from 2 to 1, and increased the base damage of Flame Core. Got a 20% additional cast frequency when the player is within 10 meters of it. Dark Gate. Now this is a excuse me, Dark Gate. This is a build that I played with the minion build, and it's changed to where it won't give minion damage boosts while the skill lasts. That was one of the things that was nice about Dark Gate. You hit it, boom, minions teleport, and you get damage boosts. That's no longer the case. But the casting skill now immediately grants 50 points of command at level 20. This is the new skill, the new minion skill called Command. So you're going to see a lot of this in the patch notes with minion skills. A lot of changes have been made to the skills to accommodate this new command system where there's a point system from -1, -100 to 100. And depending on where your command is, your minions will act different. Check out my last video on the topic where I talk about the patch notes where we go over what command is. But you're going to see that a lot. 10% command return speed per second while the skill lasts. So you'll be able to gain more command when you pop off Dark Gate. Excuse me. I've been streaming tonight, so my voice is going. Okay, Spider Tank. Base attack speed has been reduced for Spider Tanks. This hurts me. I love Spider Tanks. From 2.0 to 1.42. Projectile quantity in the base state has been reduced to 3 from 3 to 1. So less projectiles, less attack speed on Spider Tanks. Increase the base damage of Spider Tank accordingly. So the base damage has gone up, attack speed's gone down, projectile quantity has gone down. But here's the kicker. After Spider Tank reaches level 18, the max number of minions that can be summoned no longer increases with level and is fixed at 4. So I don't know if that's good or bad. We're going to have 4 Spider Tanks. The caster's attack speed no longer influences their attack speed and movement speed. Now, when command, this is the new feature, command is above 30, the Spider Tank's projectiles always penetrate targets. Always penetrate targets. When it's above 50, you get +2 projectile quantity. So they reduced it in the base, but if you keep your command above 50, it increases by 2. There's that command thing again. So this is a balancing juggling act with Spider Tanks. If you keep your command up, your minions will be strong. That's kind of the thing. And the max number of projectiles that can be fired is 5. I was discussing this on my live stream, and some people in chat agreed that this could be due to lag. If you've ever played minion builds and the projectile speed and attack speed gets crazy, you go like 5 FPS, 5 frames per second. It can really lag your computer. So I think what XD did is that they buffed some numbers, reduces some projectiles, and put this command system in, and hopefully it will reduce the lag. We'll see. Machine Guard. After Machine Guard reaches level 18, the max number of minions that can be summoned no longer increases with level. This is a theme, but it's fixed at 4. At every point of command, 0.5% skill area for Machine Guard. For every point of command, you get 0.5% of skill area. So again, once you do minion builds now with Cube of Rapacity as of Season 3, you're going to have to know this command system. The max number of projectiles that can be fired. Oh, this is Frostbite. The max number of projectiles that can be fired is now 5. Now 5. Thunder Slash. Now this is something I was a little worried about because this is the build out. This is the starter I was going to do in Season 3. Thunder Slash's multi-strike attack speed bonus now increases with maximum multi-strike count. So multi-strike attack speed bonus scales with maximum multi-strike count. But reduce Thunder Strike's multi-strike attack speed bonus from 15% to 6%. But the base damage has been increased. So that's going to be a balancing act. I don't know how that's going to turn out. Sure, you can scale your attack speed bonus with maximum multi-strike multi-strike count, but the actual skill itself is only going to give you 6% versus 15. So how much of the multi-strike count is going to give you more multi-strike attack speed? We have to find out when we get into the game. Bombard. Bombard's actual attack speed is increased to match the panel. It no longer grants 50% attack speed and increases the base damage of Bombard accordingly. Well, I don't know how that's going to work out either. Sparkle's projectile can now reach further. All right. Cast on critical strike. Negative 70% at level 20. Additional damage dealt by sentry skills and spell bursts activated. Spell burst is a new thing. They can still enjoy their original damage bonus. And you get a negative 6% additional damage dealt by sentry skills and spell bursts activated. They can still enjoy their original damage bonus. I have these marked as blue because I have no clue what that's going to affect. I don't know what that's going to do. So if you guys know, let me know in the comments. Fire damage. This seems to be a buff. So added fire damage no longer provides base ignite damage for the support skill, but you get 151% at level 20 of skill damage to the supported skill as base ignite damage. So it no longer provides base ignite damage, but it now grants 151% of your skill damage as base ignite damage. So that's going to give you some pretty good I guess you can call it fire. I mean, it's going to be a buff to fire damage. Same with erosion damage here. It no longer provides base wilt damage for the supported skill, but it now grants 76% of your skill damage as of skill damage to the supported skill as base wilt damage. So base wilt damage and base ignite damage have been shifted to a percentage of your skill damage. Good way of saying it. Assault command. This one kind of hit home a little bit because I just finished playing minions. No longer increases the aggressiveness of minions summoned by the support skill. That made me sad. No longer increases the attack and cast speed of minions summoned by the support skill. So attack and cast speed and aggressiveness are no longer increased with assault command. But plus 74 at level 20, critical strike rating for minions summoned by the support skill when having at least 40 command. There's that command word again. So once you have your command up, you'll get your critical strike rating back onto your minions. Aggressiveness, we don't know where aggressiveness is gone. It's gone. But you'll get your critical strike rating with command. Defense form no longer reduces aggressiveness of a minions supported by the support skill. So assault command will no longer increase aggressiveness, and defense form will no longer reduce aggressiveness. And also, defense form will no longer inflict taunt when minions supported by the support skills land a hit. But, you guessed it, here comes command. You get a 10% chance to weaken the enemy for every 20 command when hit by a minion summoned by the support skill. Critical strike damage increase. So this critical strike damage increase no longer increases critical strike damage for the supported skill, but critical strike damage increase now has a plus 60% at level 20. Additional damage for the supported skill when it lands a critical strike. I didn't quite get that one completely. It's like it no longer increases critical strike damage for the supported skill, but you get 60% additional damage when you land a critical strike. So it sounds like it got changed from a flat increase of critical strike damage to a percentage. I think that's what that's trying to say, but you know, you guys correct me in chat, correct me in comments if I'm wrong. And Reaping Agony now only reaps dot damage dealt by the supported skill instead of all dot damage. So it's only reaps dot damage. I'm not going to go through the skill bug fixes. You guys can consume those as you will. I'm just going to focus on the skill and trait changes and some of the major things. So, speaking of major things, changes to rare affixes. We made significant changes to the rare affix database to ensure hunters can have an enjoyable crafting and drop experience. That's a catch-all statement. Affixes that were rarely used have been deleted, and new affixes have been added to balance out the number of affixes for embers of each part. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Ominous and sleepless affixes have been reworked and renamed as ultimate affixes. Ultimate affixes include 3 prefixes and 3 suffixes. 6 fixes, all precious and universal. Ultimate affixes are only available in drops and prototype crafting. Prototype crafting is a new type of crafting that deals with these. You watch the other video, you'll see what I'm talking about. I'm not going to spend too much time on prototype crafting. Gear with ultimate affixes require double crafting cost at each step. Now, this worried me a little bit because double sounds bad, especially when you don't know how much it costs to begin with. Double it. Would you take this universal affix at this price, or were you going to give it to the next person and double it? I don't know. It's a question mark. So we're going to be watching that one very closely. And I'm a little bit scared about the crafting. You can tell I'm a little bit squeamish because this is new. It's a brand new system. I'm also not going to cover the drops changes because these are specific to some of the seal whispers, the night flames, percentages of embers and fluorescent memories, and void sea treasure stuff, and just a bunch of different changes to drop ratings. I'm not going to go through these to save a little bit of time. Also, there's some legendary drop adjustments that you can look through as well. Not going to cover that as well. And again, I'm going to put this link in the show description so you can check it out. And again, this might change. Not again, but this might change because it is now 3 a.m. Eastern, May 9th. And this is what was posted. And this could change between now and release. So keep your eye on this link and keep your eye on the communications by XD Gaming, XD, to see if anything has been updated. There may be some things removed. There may be some things added. So take with it as you will. I should have put that in the beginning of the video, but if you got this far, cool. All right, NetherRealm exclusive drop adjustments. Now, the only thing I highlighted here is that they removed a couple of things. They removed the Imperial Might and Eternity, and they added Divine Ember and Starlit Body. So Eternity is going to be dropped everywhere now. Imperial Might is going to be dropped everywhere now, but Divine Ember and Starlit Body will no longer be dropped everywhere. They're going to be in God of Might and the Goddess of Hunting exclusive stuff. Okay. NetherRealm Emboss exclusive drops. They removed Legendary Belt Infinity and added the Divinity Slate. That's for the new Statue of the New God thing. Pedigree of the Gods. Okay. Drop limitations canceled. No more drop limitations for Legendary Gear, Swift, and Frozen Thunderlight. They will be dropped everywhere in the NetherRealm this season. Okay. They've reposted the hero traits for Escapist Bing, the new hero that's coming out. So you can go through this and read these. I covered these in my last video. Briefly, I believe I covered them briefly. And also they have the new hero trait for Thea, Oracle Thea, Incarnation of the Gods as well. So you can check these out if you see fit. Now, let's get into some changes to the heroes. And I noticed a theme here that we talked about this on my live stream as well. We noticed that some of the premium, mostly premium hero traits got nerfed. Take that for what you will. Level 13 trait range. This is on Anger, Rayhan, the default guy. Change when triggered deals powerful area blast equal to 350% of weapon damage to enemies within 3 meters. 2, when triggered deals powerful area blast damage equal to 550% of weapon damage to enemies within 3 meters. That's probably one of the bigger buffs I've seen in these patch notes. That's a 200% increase in weapon damage for the level 13 trait rage. So if you were mad about Rayhan's anger, the anger Rayhan, level 13 trait being weak, well, it just got a 200% damage buff. Might be changing my starter build. I don't know. Level 62 trait Tunnel Vision. They changed the active attack skills deal negative 25 additional damage to active attack skills deal negative 50% damage. So there's a big trade-off there that you get less additional damage for active attack skills on trait Tunnel Vision. But they also changed the plus 80% additional burst damage to 120% additional burst damage. So take that what you will. You lost some additional damage, but you gained some burst damage. So truly a berserker, I guess, you know. Level 80 trait, Uncontrolled Anger. They changed lose 15% of max life per second while Berserk is active to lose 10% of max life per second while Berserk is active. So you lose less life per second now while Berserk is active. These are some significant buffs, I think, to Rayhan. They're not going to break the game, but I think they make him a little bit more viable. Now, as for Seething Silhouette Rayhan, the level 62 trait Hysteria. 4% additional damage for every 20 rage recently gained, stacking up to 20 times. And 4% additional Seething Spirit damage for every 20 rage recently consumed, stacking up 20 times, has been changed to 4% additional damage for 20 rage, stacking up to 7 times instead of 20. And 4% additional seething spirit damage for every 20 rage recently consumed, stacking up to 7 times. So the number of stacks has been decreased from 20 to 7. Take that. There it is. Level 80 trait split form. So they changed plus 2% additional max life per 10% resistance, exceeding max resistance for all resistance, to 2% additional max life per 15 resistance, exceeding max resistance for all resistance. So it went from 10% resistance that's exceeding your max to 15% every 15. So that's a debuff. That is a nerf. You're getting 2% additional max life per percentage of additional or excess resistance. And that went up from 10 to 15. Okay. So Commander Moto, charge calling. Another premium. For level 13 surprise force, reduce the base damage multiplier of self-destruct. Self-destruct just got reduced. Trait concentrated fire. Change adds 10%. Changes adds 10% secondary physical damage dealt by synthetic troop minions while overload is active to the self-destruct damage dealt by the self-destruction protocol. 2, same thing, but they changed it to 15%. So that's a buff. 15% secondary physical damage dealt by your synthetic troops. So that's a buff. Space-time Witness Yuga. Space-time Elapse. Level 50. This is the premium trait for him. Level 50 trait Turbulence. Change, and I got this marked in blue because I don't have a clue. Y'all tell me what this does. Change while Twisted Spaceline is active. 15% of the dot you dealt to enemies in Twisted Spacetime, and the corresponding damage type will be recorded. And then while Twisted Spacetime is active, 20% of the dot you dealt will be recorded. I don't know what that means. I never played this guy. Is that a buff? I don't know. I got it marked in blue. Frostfire Gemma. Ice Fire Fusion. Ice Fire Fusion. We changed 20% fire damage and cold damage for every point of fusion energy, 5% chance to inflict at night, and frostbite for every point of fusion energy, to 10% of fire damage and cold damage, and 5% of chance to inflict ignite and frostbite. So it went down 10% fire and cold damage for Ice Fire Fusion. Okay. Level 13 trait, Ice Fire Radiance. The damage bonus provided by this trait will not be calculated again when converting damage. To me, that sounds like a nerf. You guys let me know if that's right. I don't know. Sounds like a nerf for Frostfire Gemma, Ice Fire Fusion. For Frostfire Gemma, Frostbitten Heart, Cold Heart. Change Frost Restoration effect to regeneration. Regenerates 1.2% per life per second. Regeneration 1% per mana per second. And 18% energy shield charge speed. 2, the same thing, but without, oh, I'm sorry, not the same thing. 1.2% of life per second and 10% energy shield charge speed. That's a little bit less energy shield recharge speed. And they completely removed the regenerates 1% per mana per second. So that has been a nerf. That's a nerf right there. Level 80 trait Icebound Blade. There's a 1% chance to cause an explosion around an enemy on hit for every 20 Frostbite rating. Has, dealing 20% of the total player's max life and max shield. That's been changed to, there's a 1% chance to cause an explosion around the enemy on hit for every 20 Frostbite rating the enemy has. Dealing cold damage equal to 40% of the total player's max life and max energy shield. So that is a buff. It does more cold spell damage because it's taking a percentage, a higher percentage of your max life and energy shield to apply that cold damage. So that's a buff there. Okay, hero relics and memories. The three nerfs right off the bat. The legendary relic Ascended Body has gone from 125 to 140% to 90 to 105% of hero memory effect. The legendary relic Void Eater has gone from 100 to 120% for even number engrams to 60 to 80% of hero memories, even number engrams, and even number and all the other stuff. So it went from 100 to 120 to 60 to 80. And then for hero trait relics, Plus hero memory effect. T1 values reduce from 48 to 60 to 35, 38 to 45. That's kind of significant. T2 values reduced from 36 to 47 to 30 to 37. Not too bad. And the T3 values reduced from 24 to 35 to 22 to 29. So the T1 got hit the hardest, which is the best stat, from 48 to 60 to 38 to 45. But T2 and T3 are kind of tame nerfs. Okay, Rayhan's back with his relics. Legendary relic, Varagon's Symphony of Souls. That has been increased from 55 to 65% to 60 to 70% effect for hero memories and even numbered engrams while Berserk is active. This relic, Varagon's Pact. It has been I don't know what this meant. I had a brief discussion in my chat about this on my live stream. There's some changes with additional attack damage for every amount of rage that you have. So for every 20 rage. So 1.5, it went from 1.5 in some cases. I'm sorry, it went from 1 to 1.5 at T1, I think that is. At T2, it went from 1 every 25 to 1% every 30 rage. And then at T3, it went from 1% every 33 rage to 0.5% every 30 rage. So I don't know. You guys tell me. Comment on the video. Legendary Memory Silent Roar. This went from 20 to 25% of War Crier effect when you are silenced to 45 to 55% of the War Cry effect when you are silenced while Berserk is active. So that's a pretty good buff. Now Rayhan, Seething Silhouette. Look at the red here, man. We went from 3% to 2 to 2.5% of hero memory effect for Engram 3. For the Relic Remains of the Father, we went from 3% to 2% of max life as physical damage. And T2 values changed from 2% to 1.5%. The Legendary Memory, we went from 160 to 180% to 90 to 100% of additional Seething Spirit damage if you're disarmed while Berserk is active. 3 nerfs right off the bat. Space-Time Witness Yuga, for Space-Time Elapsed, the Legendary Relic Twisted Space-Time went from 4 to 5% of hero memory effect to 3 to 4%. Not that big of a debuff, but it's there. Thea Wisdom of the Gods went from 2% additional all damage to 1% additional all damage. And it went from 9 stacks to up to 10 to 12 stacks. So it's kind of like a balance. It's not really a nerf, I don't think. And the T2 changed to 7 to 9. So that could be a blue, actually. That could probably be blue. That's not necessarily red. Relic's Prayer's Eyes, 20 to 25% chance to gain a stack of Agility Blessing. That changed to 14 to 16% to gain a stack of Agility Blessings. So that is a nerf. And then T2 went from 15 to 19 to 10 to 13. And T3 went from 12 to 14 to 9.9. Memory Sanity Sphere nerfed from 49 to 63 to 42 to 48. T2 changed from 38 to 48 to 35 to 41 and 29 to 37 to 28 to 34. So we're seeing a theme here. Like the T1 stuff is getting hit the hardest, and then it kind of tapers off as you get down to T2 and T3 for a lot of these changes here. Memory Sanity Sphere, another one. 12 to 15% to gain Tenacity Blessing and Agility Blessing has been changed to 10 to 12%. And then the chance to gain Agility Blessing is 20 to 25%. And that went down to 14 to 16% with T2 and T3 going down accordingly. Divine Shot Carino for the Ranger of Glory. The Legendary Relic Goggles of the Royal Hunter changed to plus 6% Magic Hero Memory Effect down to 3 to 4% Magic Hero Memory Effect for every 6 special ammo reloaded recently. It stacks up to 15 times. So the percentage just changed there. Legendary Memory Lessons Under the City at Sunset. This changed, that's a name by the way. This changed to 12 to 18, from 12 to 18% to 16 to 22% critical strike damage for every 20 to 25% chance you have to reload special ammo. So that's a buff. Commander Moto, Order Calling. The Relic, Gary's Legacy, changed from 8 to 10% to 5 to 7% magic hero memory effect for 6 seconds every time overload is cast, and they stack up to 15 times. Charge calling, for, let's see, 4% additional self-destruct damage triggered by self-destruct protocol. T1 got changed from 14 to 18 to 9 to 10. Again, T1 gets hit so hard it seems. T2, 11 to 13 to 7 to 8, and T3 went from 9 to 10 to 5 to 6. Actually, that's a pretty even spread on that one. T1 and T2 and T3. Cat Eye Erica, Wind Stalker. Her relic Cat's Vengeance Diary changed from 12 to 15% to 10 to 11% magic hero memory effect for every 10 meters of movement made recently. The relic's Cat Vengeance Diary changed to plus 3% to plus 2% of additional damage during multi-strike for every 1 stack of Stalker you have. T2 changed from 2% to 1.5%. These are all nerfs. Relic Cat's Vengeance Diary changed from 12 to 15% down to 10% of additional attack speed during multi-strike. T2 values changed from 9 to 11 to the lower end, which is 9%. Relic's Cat's Vengeance Diary changed from plus 3% additional attack speed during multi-strike for every stack of Stalker you have to 2%. And T2 changed from 2 to 1.5%. Minor nerfs, but they're getting chopped. Okay, let's talk about talents. Let's talk about talents. First off, God of Might. Great strength. Negative 15% attack speed and 35% additional main hand weapon damage has been changed to negative 15 attack speed to 30% additional main hand weapon damage. So the weapon damage of the main hand has been reduced by 5%. God of Might micro talent plus 10% tenacity blessing duration has been changed to plus 10% tenacity blessing duration, in addition to plus 4% elemental resistance while tenacity blessing is active. They tacked that last part on there to buff it. Same is true for the next one, the Brave. Plus 10% tenacity blessing duration has been changed to that plus 4% elemental resistance while tenacity blessing is active. Onslaught momentum, that has been reduced from 50% to 40% attack damage for the next main skill every 1 second. And there's some other text in there too. It says it used to be for the next 2 uses of the main skill after being defeated, the effect cannot stack. Now that's been changed to 40% for the next main skill every 1 second. And it says refreshes this interval on defeat. That could be a blue. I'm not sure if that's better or worse. It's a less attack damage, but it's different conditions. So you guys let me know if that's the case. Onslaught or Sacrifice changes the effect of each stack of Tenacity Blessing from plus 0.8% to plus 6% of additional attack speed and skill area. So a 2% reduction there. Let's see, the Onslaught or Medium talent went from 35 to 25 additional attack damage on full life enemies. That's a 10% debuff. They're starting to add up. Are you guys seeing the theme? There's these 1% and 2%, these 10%, these 5%. Things are being toned down quite a bit. Onslaught or Medium talent, plus 1 max life for every 5 strength has been changed to plus 1 max life for every 8 strength. So a little bit less tanky there. Warlord True Flame. Enemies that die of fire damage will explode, dealing fire dot damage per second equal to 20% before of the overflown damage for 4 seconds to nearby enemies. Right? That's been changed to enemies that die of fire damage will explode, dealing fire dot damage equal to 85% over 2 seconds. So I saw that and I was like, 20% over 4 seconds or 85% over 2 seconds. I think I like the second one. I could be wrong about that, though. You guys let me know. Warlord Focus Blow. Area skills deal up to 40% additional damage to enemies at the center. And that's been changed to 40%. Deal up to 40% additional damage to enemies at the center. Where's that? It's the same picture. Hold on. Area skill up to 40% additional damage to enemies at the center. Changed to area skill up to 40% additional damage. Oh, okay. I missed the word area. That's why I marked this as red. Area damage versus flat damage. So it used to be 40% additional area damage, and now it's 40% additional damage. I think that's a nerf. That's a guess. Haven't played it. Seems like it's a nerf. I think I would want area damage over just flat damage. But I don't know what Focus Blow is used for. You guys tell me. I'm so used to AoE damage because I've been I've been doing a lot of mapping lately, so I want area damage. Warlord Starfire, +1 max ignite effect, +50% ignite duration, changed to +1 max ignite effect to +20% ignite duration. So it went from 50% duration time to 20%. That is, I'm sorry guys, that's pretty big. I mean, these durations for like bleed and like erosion and stuff. Well, not erosion, but bleed and like some of the other things. They got some big hits. So I don't think bleed is going to be as strong as I would hope. That's a guess. Warlord micro talent +10% tenacity blessing duration has been changed to +10% tenacity blessing duration to +4% elemental resist. We saw that earlier in the other trees. Goddess of Hunting. Marksman, 3 birds with 1 stone, +2 projectile quantity has been changed to +2 projectile quantity, +1 parabolic projectile spirits. So it has an additional thing on it. Marksman, 20% chance has been changed to 16% chance for range attacks to multi-strike. That's the thing. Marksman, 10% agility blessing duration has been changed to 10% agility blessing duration and 2% movement speed while agility blessing is active. That's pretty good. Blade Runner micro talent, 10% agility blessing duration has been changed to that plus movement speed again. And then Blade Runner micro talent, 15% multi-strike chance has been changed to 8% multi-strike chance. That is a nerf. Blade Runner micro talent immune to shock has been changed to 5% shock chance and 5 base shock damage. I think immune to shock sounds better. What do you think? Tell me, is that better or worse? Sounds like immune to shock is better than this. Medium talent, Blade Runner. Multi-strike deals 18% more damage for each strike. Change to multi-strike deals 16% more damage for each strike. Druid medium talent restores 2% of life when receiving agility blessing and restores 2% of mana when receiving agility blessing. Change to restores 2% of life when receiving agility blessing. Cooldown 0.1 second, restores 2% of mana while receiving agility blessing. Cooldown 0.1 seconds. Now this one, it sounds worse with the change. You still restore 2% of life when you get agility blessing, but one restores mana and the other has a short cooldown. So it's like you get a cooldown of 0.1 seconds versus no cooldown before. So I don't know how that's going to... They both restore mana, so I don't know. That's a toss-up. I'm going to change that to blue. That's a blue. Druid micro talent plus 10% agility blessing duration has been changed to the blessing duration plus the 2% movement speed while agility blessing is active. And finally, the Druid micro talent, life and energy shield, 25% of damage. 25% of damage taken bypass energy shield has been changed to just a life and energy shield. So no longer is 25% damage taken bypass the shield. So that's actually, that makes that a lot better. God of Knowledge, Beacon, 25% additional spell damage, 25% additional skill costs, and changed to +3 max spell burst. I made that blue because of spell burst. Don't know much about it at all. I'm pretty sure that's one of the new skills. So it's like anything that has spell burst, command, and the other new things that are coming out. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to make it better or worse. It depends on how they do it. God of Knowledge Insight, 45% additional spell damage, plus 1% spell damage every 5 intelligence has been changed to 30% additional spell damage. So from 45 to 30. God of Knowledge Micro Talent, 12% cold damage changed to -2 sealed mana. I don't know. I mean, I would want the cold damage, right? Those of you who use this tree, am I wrong? I would want the cold damage over the sealed mana reduction. That's just me. God of Knowledge Medium Talent plus 18% cold damage, 50% of physical damage will be converted to cold damage. Has been changed to just simply more sealed, less sealed mana. I don't know how the mana management is with these builds, but I don't know if that's more valuable than just flat damage. I just think damage. Like I go through these games, kill them before they kill me. That's how I think. So that's how I go. 5% frostbite chance has been changed to 10% cold damage and 5% frostbite chance. So the God of Knowledge Micro Talent. It's also another God of Knowledge micro talent. 12% damage has been changed to plus 5% spell burst charge speed. Again, we don't know about spell burst, so I marked that as blue. 10% focus blessing duration has been changed to plus 12% spell damage. I don't know which is better. So I marked that one as blue. God of Knowledge micro talent, -2 seal mana has been changed to 10% focus blessing duration and regenerates 0.4% mana per second while focus blessing is active. So that sounds better. That's like the reverse of these up here almost. It's like you got seal mana versus these things that could possibly benefit your damage, like focus blessing and other things like that. Plus another God of Knowledge medium talent, plus 12% frostbite duration has been changed to plus 20% cold damage, and 50% of physical damage will be converted to cold damage. So I marked that as a buff. These next three have to do with, no, actually, not all of them. This one is plus 1 skill level has been changed to 15% spell burst charge speed. Don't know if that's going to be better or not. Then we got plus 1 max focus blessing stack has been changed to plus 1 spell skill level. Don't know. Let me know in the comments. -6% seal mana has been changed to plus 1 max focus blessing stack. I don't know about that one either. God of Knowledge medium talent, plus 100% to gain 1 stack of focus blessing upon inflicting freeze has been changed to 100% to gain 1 stack upon inflicting freeze. In addition to that, a plus 6% additional damage against frostbitten enemies. So that actually improves that talent. Okay, Magister, play safe. Plus 40% additional main skill damage and -10% additional cooldown recovery has been changed to 100% of the decrease on cast speed is also applied to the spell burst charge speed, and -50% damage for skills that are not cast by spell burst. Completely different. Absolutely completely different. So I have no clue if that's going to be better or not. We got to test out spell burst and see. Mind Blade. Spells gain damage of the main hand weapon. Changed to as the main hand weapon to damage to spells. I don't know which is better in this game. This is a question I've had for a while. Do you want spells? Do you want spells to gain damage of the main hand weapon? Or do you want to add the main hand weapon damage to your spells? I have no clue which is better. I don't have any idea. You guys tell me. I need to learn that. Micro talent, plus 12% spell damage has been changed to plus 5% spell burst charge speed. I don't know how valuable charge speed is going to be on spell burst. We'll find out. Spell plus 4% chance to deal double damage has been changed to plus 10% spell burst charge speed. I was on the fence with that one because a 4% chance to deal double damage sounds really good. So I don't know how valuable this spell burst charge speed is, but just having that small chance of doing double damage, double. All right, micro talent. Plus 10% focus blessing duration has been changed to plus 10% focus blessing duration. Regenerates 0.4 mana per second while focus blessing is active, so that's a buff. We got a plus 8% chance to inflict paralysis, and this medium talent on Magister has been changed to plus 1 max spell burst. No idea. So you see a lot of spell bursts in this Magister stuff. We'll find out. It's a new thing. Arcanist, mana, absorbs 20% of incoming damage taken from mana instead of life. Regenerates 2% mana per second. That's been changed to absorbs 20% incoming damage taken as mana instead of life. But you get plus 32% max mana. So you want mana regeneration or a bunch of mana pool? I think that's a situational thing, so I marked this as blue. I don't know if that's going to be a debuff or not. Arcanist micro talent, plus 10% focus blessing duration has been changed to plus 10% focus blessing duration, plus you regenerate mana when focus blessing is active. So there's a lot of changes like that, where it's like, we got this duration increase on the blessings, but on top of that, they increase your mana regeneration. Arcanist medium talent adds 4% of max mana as energy shield has been changed to as 1% of max mana as energy shield. So 4% to 1%. The micro talent plus 6% frostbite duration has been changed to plus 3%. That's a clear debuff. And plus 15% frostbite duration. Inflicts 4 frostbite rating when dealing cold damage, changed to plus 8% frostbite duration, and inflicts 4 frostbite rating when dealing cold damage. Okay. Elementalist, penetrating, plus 3.5% elemental penetration for every stack of focus blessing you have. That's been increased from 3.5 to 4%. Micro talent, 10% focus blessing duration. They added the mana again on that one. And also elementalist, new medium talent, plus 25% additional beam length. Beam length. I wonder if that applies to those new minions that shoot beams. It probably does. God of War. Instant smash. Critical strikes ignore armor. Change to critical strikes ignore armor. Plus 100% additional trauma damage dealt by critical strikes. That just sounds absolutely amazing. God of War micro talent. Plus 10% bleed damage. Bleed duration has been changed to trauma damage and trauma duration, but it's less trauma duration. I'm not completely sure, and you guys can answer me this, but I think there's been a transition from bleed to trauma. Because there's going to be a lot of this in God of War, where he says bleed has been changed to trauma, and numbers have been adapted. Just like in Shadow Dancer, open wounds, 100% additional bleed damage dealt by critical strike, and 125% critical strike damage against bleeding enemies has been changed to 40% trauma duration when inflicting trauma on traumatized enemies, and plus 125% critical damage against traumatized enemies. So I missed in the patch notes where they changed bleed to trauma. So you guys can clarify that for me. That'd be great. Shadow Dancer, hair trigger. Plus 1% chance for triggered skills to deal double damage for every 3 points of fervor rating. Changed to plus 2% additional damage for the skill when the skill is triggered for every 3 fervor rating, and a negative 20% additional cooldown recovery speed for trigger skills. That sounds like a buff. Shadow Dancer versatile. 100% of cast speed increase, reduce is also applied to attack speed. Changed to 75% of cast speed increase is also applied to attack speed. So, man, cast speed and attack speed is being hit. I think it's performance related, man. It really might be performance related, because there's a balance between like damage increase and attack speed decrease. At least that's what I'm saying. So where I leave off, medium talent here. Plus 8% attack and cast speed, negative 10% skill cost has been changed to plus 8% attack and cast speed to negative 10 skill costs. So you got a flat 10 skill cost reduction versus a negative 10% skill cost reduction. I actually am unsure which is worse, because I don't know the point scale on skill. The points could be more than the percentage. You guys let me know. Shadow Dancer. Micro talent. The bleed damage has been changed to, guess what? Trauma damage. 12% trauma damage, and it adds 10 base trauma damage on top of that. So that sounds like a benefit, but I left it blue because I'm not sure if trauma equals bleed here. Medium talent for Shadow Dancer, 30% bleed damage, reaps 0.2 seconds of dot damage has been changed to 30% trauma damage. Trauma damage has 30% of trauma damage and reaps 0.1 second. We'll get through this of dot damage 0.3 seconds after inflicting trauma. That sounds like a nerf to me. Ronin medium talent, plus 1% block ratio for every 8% life loss, and that's been changed to plus 1% block ratio for every 12% of life loss. Now, Goddess of Deception. Plague, the dot damage has a 40% chance to spread to nearby targets, and plus 80% dot damage. That's been changed to a 40% chance to spread to nearby, and 25% dot damage duration. I'm telling you, man, the durations, that went from 80 to 25. They're really nerfing dots like crazy. I don't know why. Maybe you guys can tell me. Mixture. Goddess of Deception, mixture. Converts physical and physical elemental damage into erosion damage, plus 100% chance to paralyze. That's been changed to converts 99% of physical and elemental damage into erosion damage, plus a 99% chance to paralyze the target when dealing damage. So that could be a blue, because you're converting more damage, but you're getting less. Yeah, that's a blue. I'll make that blue, because that's borderline. 50% of physical to 99% of physical. And then you got 100% chance paralyzed versus a 99% paralyzed. It's probably more of a buff, but I'm not sure. So you guys let me know. Goddess of Deception, Wind Walk, +1 affliction inflicted per second for every 25 dexterity, +1% additional dot damage for every 40 intelligence. That's been changed to 25% additional dot damage taken by the target during 2 seconds after the dot damage is dealt. The effect cannot stack. So it used to scale with intelligence and for every 25 dexterity. Now they've taken out dexterity and intelligence with this, and you just get a flat 25% additional dot damage. I don't know, that sounds like a nerf. Sounds like it could scale better before. That's just my gut. You guys let me know. The Goddess of Deception, Subtle Impact. Blur gains an additional effect, +30% additional dot damage taken by nearby enemies. It's been changed to +25% additional dot taken by nearby enemies. So it has dropped from 30% to 25%. Goddess of Deception, 6% wilt duration has been changed to 3% wilt duration, but it adds 10 base wilt. I don't know. That's a close one. I don't know how 10 base wilt plays out. Medium talent for Soulbender, 8% wilt chance, 10% wilt duration changed to +8% wilt chance to +5% wilt duration. So that's clearly a nerf on the wilt duration. I'm noticing that a lot. Micro talent for Soulbender, +5% blur effect has been changed to +4. Easy nerf. Soulbender medium talent, +1% erosion damage for every stack of wilt. Stacking up to 100 times, it now only stacks up to 80 times. That's another nerf. Psychic Daze, blur gains an additional effect. 100% control effects and 20% ailment damage has been changed to blur gains an additional effect, +100% control, +15% ailment damage. So you lose a little ailment damage there. Now the Psychic medium talent, we got a buff finally. It was a lot of red there for a while, wasn't it? 30% damage against enemies under control has been changed to 30% damage against enemies under control effects. Control versus control effects. That's a specific scenario that I have not encountered. Let me know if that's better or worse. So I left that one blue. Psychic medium talent, +45% dot damage. -10% dot damage duration has been changed from 45% dot to negative. Again, the dot duration has been reduced. Psychic micro talent, 4% cast spell for curse skills and 3% curse skill area has been changed to 10% additional damage and 10% curse skill area against cursed enemies. I don't know. Is that better or worse? Who knows? 8% cast speed for curse skills, 6% curse skill area on the Psychic medium talent has been changed to a 10% chance to inflict paralysis and 20% curse skill area. So we've got cast speed and curse skill area versus upon dealing damage, a chance to inflict paralysis and a curse area. A large curse area. I don't know which is better. My gut says that big curse area is good, but how good is paralysis in Torchlight Infinite? I have no idea. I haven't played it. So you guys let me know that one. All right. Blur effect has been reduced from 5 to 4. We got to speed this up. This is taking a lot longer than I thought. +1% blur effect for every 1% life loss has been changed to 0.5. +6% element has been reduced to 3%. 18% element has been reduced to 9. 7% additional damage after types of elements. 6% blah blah blah. 5% to inflict element has been changed to 3%. So you see a lot of changes to element duration here. And I talked about they're just nerfing it everywhere. 8% chance to inflict ailment plus 10% ailment duration has been changed to that, which is less. 8%, 5%. 15% movement speed when blur is active has been reduced to 3%. That's a big one, actually. That blur got that micro talent right there. That's 15% movement speed reduced to 3. That's a big one. 12% ailment damage changed to plus 12% damage. I don't know if that's good or bad. Ailment damage or damage, I don't know. All right, God of Machines. Mighty Guard, plus 3 levels for skills that summon minions. Negative 25% minion aggressiveness has been changed to plus 2 level skills that summon minions and gains 4 command per second. It looks like aggressiveness has just been removed. It really looks like aggressiveness, the whole idea of aggressiveness is going away and it's all been replaced by command. So we'll see. God of Machines, overly modified, plus 35% additional sentry damage, negative 50% additional non-sentry active skill damage, changed to 30% additional sentry skill damage, and negative 50%. So 35 to 30. Micro talent for God of Machines, we got a plus sentry skill area, plus 12% sentry skill area, 10% sentry duration, changed to 12% sentry skill area, to 10% sentry duration, and then they added 10% sentry projectile speed. So that is a buff. God of Machines, medium talent, plus 24% sentry skill area, 20% sentry duration, changed to 24% sentry skill area, 20% sentry duration, plus 20% sentry projectile speed, another buff. Now we got some nerfs here to minion damage. This one right here, God of Machines, medium talent, it scales minion damage every 50 strength and critical strike rating every 5 intelligence. That's been nerfed to critical strike rating for every 12 intelligence. Okay. God of Machines, sentry damage for every strength and cast frequency, sentry cast frequency for every 15 intelligence. This has been changed to 1% sentry damage every 50 strength to plus 1% sentry cast frequency for every 100 intelligence. I don't know if that's a typo or not, but 15 intelligence to 100, that is a big nerf. That's a huge nerf. God of Machines, micro talent, plus 4% minion movement speed, 50% minion max life has been changed to 10% max life, gains 1 command per second. I don't know if that's better or worse. I actually should make that blue. I have no idea if that's better or worse. That gain 1 command per second, I don't know. And then we got God of Machines, micro talent, plus 5% sentry cast frequency has been changed to plus 4%. God of Machines, medium talent, 16%. Cooldown recovery speed for sentry skills has been changed to plus 30% sentry damage. Cooldown recovery speed or sentry damage? I'm going to say sentry damage. But I left it blue because I don't know. 25% minion aggressiveness has been changed to 30% minion max life and gains 3 command per second. Again, aggressiveness going to command. 15% sentry cast frequency changed to 16%. That's a minor bump. All right, some more blues here. Max sentry skill charges versus a sentry damage. I don't know. Additional sentry damage if sentry skill is not used in the last 1 second has been changed to additional sentry damage if you have used a sentry skill recently. Plus, there's a negative 30% additional sentry start time. I don't know. Plus 25% minion aggressiveness has been changed to gain 20 points of command. Again, another command one. I don't know if that's better or worse. Machinist core resonance, 80% of cast speed is increased, and is also applied to Sentry's attack speed. Has been changed to attack speed bonus, and 10% of it, and 100% of additional bonuses are also applied to attack sentries. Don't know. I don't know. This one I don't know about at all. 8% sentry skill 8% sentry skill cooldown recovery speed changed to 4% sentry skill cast frequency. They're different things, so I don't know which is better in whatever cases you guys will be using them. So you have more experience than I do in that. They just sound like very situational things to me. 16% sentry skill cooldown recovery speed has been changed to 8% sentry skill cast frequency, and then we have the 15% minion damage has been changed to 10% minion damage, but gains 1 command per second. All of these I'm not sure about. Some more buffs. Machinist, we got 35% projectile minion projectile speed has been changed to projectile speed plus a 12% minion skill area, and you gain command. That's definitely a buff because it adds to what was already there. And again, we got sentry damage and sentry skill area. We got sentry damage, sentry skill area, and then sentry projectile speed has been added to that. And then finally, last two for machinists, plus 5% sentry cast frequency changed to plus 4% sentry cast frequency. That's a nerf. It's the same, pretty much the same thing. And then plus 25% aura effect on minions has been changed to 15% aura effect on minions. Whew. All right. Let's move on. To Pactspirits, everyone's favorite thing about the video game. Is he joking? Pactspirits. The attack magic Pactspirit. Drizzle. Minor node plus 18% projectile speed has been changed to 4%. I ain't gonna say I'm mad about that nerf. Attack rare Pactspirit Traveling Lizard. Violet. Attack legendary Pactspirit Flower Whisperer. Minor node plus 18% projectile speed has been changed to plus 4% projectile speed. The medium node plus 35% projectile speed has been changed to plus 8. Ooh, that got gutted. That was gutted. So these are, I'm pretty sure these are, I'm not positive because the game's down right now, but I wanted to check and see if these were premium Pactspirits, and if they are, I'm very happy. I don't want Pactspirits to be strong, so the fact that that was 35% and they dropped it to 8 is a good sign. So keep that up. Now there's a bunch of skills here, new active skills. They have the actual numbers on the multipliers. I highly encourage you to check these out if you want to try some of the new skills. And if you want to try some of the things that they have here, let's see. And then it's just, they got some repetition of some of the stuff we saw with the other things, like the max number of minions that can be summoned by Summon Spider Tank and Summon Machine Guard no longer increase with level, and they're fixed at 4. So we read that earlier. So there's a bunch of other stuff too. Okay. We're not going to talk about the panels for Spell Burst and Minion Command because they're new. We know they're new, so they got panels. Awesome. Okay. Overall difficulty adjustments. This is probably one of the more important things about the patch notes. The overall HP of monsters has increased by approximately 10%. And their overall damage by approximately 18%. Reason why is that we have introduced a new development system for the season, Statue of the New God, given the increased crafting difficulty, weakened legendary gear, and other factors. We adjusted the overall difficulties and added new bosses for the cube season. So the HP of the monsters is higher and their damage is higher. And we saw a lot of red up there earlier. So this is why I said in the beginning that I think there's a theme of making the game a little bit more challenging this season than it is in season 2. Whether it meets the needs of people who said it was too easy or not, I don't know, but they're making it harder. So there are some specific changes here for specific time marks in the Nether Realm. Time mark 7, HP is reduced by 10% in time mark 7 for the Traveler. Time mark 8, the HP is reduced by approximately 30% in time mark 8. And Tide Masters 3 fragments, HP is reduced by approximately 30%. 4 fragments, HP is increased by approximately 20%. So there's some HP adjustments on top of this flat adjustment of everybody being higher. They had to adjust some of the higher time marks. Black Cell Season Boss difficulty 1 HP decreased by approximately 80%. Oh my gosh. Whew. And then the HP is increased by approximately 20%. Difficulty 3 HP increased by approximately 110%. So difficulty adjustments, we're going to see how it works out. Legendary gear adjustments. Compared to Season 2, some legendary gears are weakened, but still attractive against rare gears, while some are enhanced and can be more powerful among legendary gears. That's just one way of saying they did a lot of balancing on legendaries. Let's hope it's okay. There we go. Okay. So here's some gear affix value changes. You can kind of glance over this and see which ones are buffs and which ones are nerfs, but this is going to tie in with the crafting system. And you can see some of the reds here about regeneration of life, curse effect on one-handed weapons, ailment duration on one-handed weapons, affliction effect on one-handed weapons, support skill level on helmets, chance to gain blur and critical strike on one-handed weapons, and critical strike rating and critical strike damage on shields, and one-handed weapon deal a % additional life has been changed 1624. Values of materials were adjusted in court. I don't know what that is though. But yeah, take a look at these, and this could help you decide on what to craft and what the min maxes are and how they change. But I think for a lot of the crafting, we're just gonna have to wait and see, man. We're gonna have to wait and see for Season 3 to hit. There's been some memory fragment adjustments. Take a look at that as well. those are the patch notes. The detailed balance adjustments. And again, these might change. These might change. So stay tuned for more information from XD. Follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/one. If they do post any updates, I will post it there. I will also update the description of this video if there's any changes to this document that I am aware of. But you know what I'm also aware of? These wonderful patrons. Check out these patrons at patreon.com/one. Thank you so much for your support. These guys support me in so many ways. So thank you so much for being so awesome and helping me out in multiple ways. I just recorded a newsletter for these guys yesterday, giving them updates on our stream marathon and also going forward what games we're going to play, and also how we're going to be changing a lot of our goal incentives, things that we have on our live stream. So these guys are the first to know because they're awesome and they support me. As little as $5 a month, you can get these newsletters as well as some other benefits such as a special Discord role and a special Discord channel. And certain tiers also, you can get a coffee mug that has good coffee on the side, because who doesn't want good coffee, right? All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. I will see you on the next one, and I can't wait for season 3 to hit tomorrow. It's going to be 10 or 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific, May 9th, in case you're curious. So thank you so much for watching the video, and I will see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.